If you go around the streets of Nigeria today, you find that every person, every one of us, depending on your level in society, is a government unto himself and herself. How many times have you seen disorderliness just because people say to themselves, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? You are talking to me like that? Or how many times have you seen on our streets, you're all in trouble because of a traffic jam that has happened because somebody is just simply unreasonable. And you find the men and women in uniform. They pass by you, God save you, if their horse whips are not with them, they will beat you to a pulp. Now, you see the way they look at us. We are lesser people than they are. The security of this country exists only for the privileged. So, if you're a rich man, you can hire police security. And not only do they follow you everywhere you want to go, they will even follow your wife to the market. Because when you serve Oga and Madam, and the children as well. How many times has it occurred to you that we are so disorderly that in fact it is impossible to build anything on this disorder? Why is it that every Nigerian only looks at the Nigerian state in terms of what we can get from that state? There is a norm of reciprocity that governs the relationship between an individual's rights and duties. It behoves you to give when you receive. What you give is your duty. Why do we hold back on the duty side? Why is our membership of Nigeria only to be seen in terms of how much we can get from the national cake? You're talking about growing wealth? See, every Nigerian believes that wealth is not something you should work hard for. It is something that only requires opportunity. Those who get the opportunity, they get rich. That's why it is said of Nigeria and of Nigerians, in the morning there is poverty. By noon time, you cannot explain it. Somehow, levels have changed. Okay? Somehow, just somehow. And that's why many of us believe that hard work does not pay. Because you say to the people who want to listen to you, what has this guy done that I haven't done? Okay? Why is it that when people get positions in government, we all celebrate? It is because our own time has come. So this is the opportunity that we've all been looking for. And therefore, who are the angry Nigerians? The aggrieved Nigerians, the ones without opportunity. So they say, look, we know how to deal with them. Give them some little money, they will shut up. That's why, as voters, we're a commodity. We are bought and sold. As voters, we are a commodity. And we are very cheap commodity. Now, thanks to recession, if they give you 200 naira, you can ask for double that. 400 is better than nothing. Very cheap. Now, I want to tell you that all of this is because we have a problem with the character of the state that we have in our country. This state does not belong to us. We know it. We tell the state all the time, you are an alien to us. If you belonged to us, we will appropriate this state. We will fight for it. Our rendering of the national anthem will be more animated and we will mean what we sing. We would own the country in every way and make every person accountable. But see, there is a disconnect between us and those who govern us. They are imperial masters. They have simply walked into the shoes of our colonial oppressors. Everything that I have described is to be seen from that. To anchor that properly, let me tell you, sometime in the 1980s, the Prime Minister of Sweden was shot while waiting to enter a cinema house. What was he waiting to do? He was waiting to buy his ticket to enter the cinema. And some criminal comes around and shot him dead. Now, a new Prime Minister came. And the intelligence agencies said, look, we were too carefree the other time. We now need to be sure that our security is spot on. So, Mr. Prime Minister, you're going to stay in the presidential house, like Aso Rock. And that's where we can take care of your security. Now, there was a huge national debate. You know why? The man said, it's good to go there. But who is going to pay the rent? The rent is too high. Did you hear me? To stay in the presidential villa, this Prime Minister had to pay rent. So he said, I can't afford it. There was a huge national debate. Now, if you hear such stories, you will just laugh. You say in Sweden they don't know what they are doing. Listen. A long time ago, somebody who should know, who was like from Mars or Jupiter, outer space, saw me. He says to me, Professor, I want to give you a very simple question, and I'll be glad if you can find the answer to it. So I said, what is the question? He says to me, have I seen any Nigerian alive who has the interest of this country at heart? So, you know, if we're in a comedy show, Basket Mouth will say, this man would answer a question with a question. That makes me a Nigerian. So I said, but why are you asking this question? So he said to me, look, sir, I've been to the highest Nigerian, I've seen the smallest Nigerian, and I've come to the painful conclusion that just for a little whatever, each Nigerian is ready to sell his or her country. Think of it for 1 minute. Look, young people who vote with their feet to go abroad because that's the vogue should think of other countries where young people say, we stay here and don't go anywhere. Okay? Look, we have an endemic legitimacy crisis. We don't trust our leaders. We don't believe what they tell us. We don't believe that they act in our best interests. You may say, well, you know, with this government is different. If and that, it's a lie. At the end of it all, we have a credibility crisis. You know, in political sociology, we refer to this situation as a situation of amoral familism. Now, this is a situation where every person believes, number one, that every person that serves in government is corrupt.